Welcome back to the Listen Up podcast. My name is David Hartman. I am your host, aka Davidedo Designs. As always, today's guest is coming to us from California via Mississippi. Shout out to the SIP, to everybody that's out there. He is a YouTuber. Okay, he is an artist, shoe customizer, father. He is Art. Art, say what's up to the people.
Listen, you want custom shoes, that's gonna take some bucks. Whatever you have for the price, go ahead and raise them up. Better get your spot now for it's taken up. When it's all said and done, my guy, lace them up. Come on, lace them up.
Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy Art, man, over at Art by Art. What's up?
Give us a little bit of background about you.
Well, name's Art. I'm from Mississippi, Cleveland, Mississippi. That's where I was born and raised. I currently now reside in Lancaster, California. That's out in the LA area, the Los Angeles County. Yeah, man, I started doing customs with my arts. I've always been artsy my whole life. It's just crazy that my first name of my is actually Art. So, but I feel like, it was meant for me to do this, So I've been doing art since I was around a little kid. The first time I got into like customizing shoes though was around 2003. And I actually, behind me, I have the picture of me holding the first pair of shoes I ever customized. My wife got it blown up for me, poster size. And, back then I was using some of everything. I was in high school. I was using some of everything to customize shoes.
Yeah.
Nail polish, highlighters, permanent markers, you know what I mean? Like I just used whatever because I actually seen some guys do it at my school, and I was like, "Yo, I can customize shoes too," But we didn't have the right materials back then, but we didn't care. We did it anyway, and we eventually ended up using the apple barrel paint from Walmart, which is what everybody was using in my little town who was customizing shoes. But yeah, so I did that till I graduated. From high school, 2006. I did it a little bit in college, but then I kind of stopped and then just started focusing just on like life. You know what I mean? Had 2 boys in college, so I had to provide, graduate, career route. You know what I'm saying? Got a job. I started back customizing again, probably like 2012 or something like that, just to be doing some shirts here and there. Then I stopped again, and then because I wanted to go back to school again, and do some stuff. And then I started back with painting again about 2015, 16. And this is when I actually found out about Angela's Direct. So now, my shoes and things could be a little more, official, last longer and everything like that. So, and then I stopped again, you know what I'm saying? And then I started back again in 2019 when I went to the barbershop and I had on a pair of shoes that I customized over the summer with me and my boys. Yeah. And the barber was like, yo, where you get them from, bro? I was like, yeah, I made these. He was like, oh, can you do something for like my shop name on it? And I was like, okay. And so from 2019, I kind of kicked back up with Art by Art and just been kind of going since then.
Cool, man. That's it sounds like it's been a journey. A lot of stop and go happening there. A lot of life interjection, right? Right. So, what's the story behind? I know Art is your name, but like, what's the story behind you being named Art? Like, how did your folks come up with that? Is there a story that goes with it, or
no story, man? My dad's name was Arthur, So I'm Arthur Jr. My oldest boy is Arthur the third, and so everybody just called me Little Art, Art. And when I started back, I actually used to call myself Artistic Journey. That was like the name of my little business at first when I started up around 2015, 2016. And then when I kicked it back up in 2019, I just wanted to go with something more just simple. And I was like, yeah, just Art by Art, because, it's my art and it's by me. So yeah. That's how I ended up getting that name.
Okay, cool. I was wondering if it was like just Art, if it was abbreviated or what, but okay, yeah.
That's actually the first time I've told, because I had people ask me before, like, what's your real name? And I just say Art. So this is like the first time I'm telling people that it's actually Arthur.
So what you're saying is I got an exclusive. Okay.
It's an exclusive right here. It's an exclusive.
I'll take it. Oh man, that's funny. So what got you like into it? So you said there's like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So since 2019 or now, this last,
well,
okay.
art, yeah.
So do you feel like this is like, okay, I'm gonna be consistent in this and push forward? Are you trying to do it full time? Are you still doing it part time? What's up?
Most definitely. I definitely would love to do this full time, but I'm just waiting for the right moment to do so. The reason I was kind of stopping back and forth because I was like the main provider, you know, when my wife was, because we all uprooted and we moved out to California. So she didn't have a job. I only had a job out here. So we were just off my income. So I think now she's just finishing up school and stuff like that herself. So who knows if I'll be going full time with this in the future or sometimes, but I would love to. But I think I'm just kind of waiting on the right time for me to kind of be like, but I know some people say if you just sit up there and wait for the right time, it'll never be the right time. But I don't know. I'm just waiting to see. And because sometimes the job that I have is like you know, it's a guaranteed, you know, check right now. You know what I'm saying? So I don't be wanting to just let that go, you know, with the good benefits and all this stuff like that too. And especially looking at all this new stuff that's coming up with customizing, it almost makes me a little more afraid to just jump out there and do this full time, not knowing, you know, because of Nike out here, you know, trying to, you know, how they doing right now, coming out to everybody. So who knows, man? So I don't know. I'm trying to create a platform where I can do those things, but at the same time, I can still do other things in the art realm too, because it's not just shoes with me. I like to do a little bit of everything.
Okay, cool. What would you say is your style? If you had to give it a description or a definition, what would you say is your style?
Oh man, I always think about that too. Like, what is my style? I don't really know. I don't really know if I have a style. I know some people like anime style. You know, I know you interviewed the Jesus Custom Footwear, and I know he has that grungy kind of like, you know, his style is like that. I don't really know if I have a style. I just kind of go with whatever, however I'm feeling at the moment. Like I'm actually in the process right now of trying to create like a lane that's specific to me. And that, you know, I have a YouTube channel as well. And I'm hoping within the next month or so, I'm able to drop this next custom that I'm doing with some other stuff. And hopefully this will start to kind of carve out, you know, a lane for myself.
Right. Yeah, I think that's become more and more of a thing now. Like as I'm looking at different customizers and what they're doing, some of them it's like, okay, boom, if I see the shoe, I'm like, oh yeah, I know whose shoe that is. You know what I'm saying? So they're really starting to kind of define their own style or create their own lane. So I always like when I ask that question, I always think about like older hip hop, not right now, right? Like everybody had to have their own style. You had to bring your own flavor, right? So like trying to figure out how do I fit into this customizing game and find my lane and be able to operate in that on top of trying to balance whatever your customer wants, you know, is always to me like, okay, how's everybody trying to manage this or trying to figure it out at the same time? So let's see. Next question I got here. Let's jump to this one. This one sometimes a little difficult for people, but so if you had to do a custom shoe for somebody, dead or alive, who would it be? What would be the shoe? And then what would be the design that goes with it?
That's crazy. I never even thought about that before, but as soon as you said it, like to me, my dad popped up in my mind. So because my dad passed away when I was in high school, senior, and so I would love to create a pair of shoes for him, and I would probably do it on a K-Swiss because I remember he used to always get a fresh pair of like white K-Swiss, and I would always go in his closet and steal them and rock them to school. You know what I mean? So I would probably, for my dad, I would do a pair of K-Swiss. And as far as the design goes, man, I would probably do like a Western theme because he always used to watch those old Western, black and white Westerns on TV. So that's probably what I would do. And that's why I would do it for my dad.
Okay. That's dope. So you said you had two boys. I got two boys too.
I got 3 boys.
I
got 3 now. Yeah,
3 now.
I had 2 in college.
Bless you.
And my youngest one too. I got my youngest one.
Bless you. Because I got 2, and that's more than enough. But with you trying, like you said, you were going and stealing your dad's shoes and rocking them and stuff. Are they ever trying to like, oh, Dad, show me how to customize shoes, or like trying to, snatch something and run off with it? I know mine do. So,
well, they got some things they try to snatch off and run. They're not really like all the way into what I'm doing right now, but they have come to me before and was like, hey, I want to customize a pair of shoes, which is why in the past we have sat down and like just made it like a little project, and we sat down and did some customs. We did one time for the Angry Birds movie. I just went to Walmart when that came out. I went to Walmart, bought some Walmart shoes for us, and we customized some Angry Bird shoes. And then I did another pair where I let them design it on some Vans. And I have those pictures too, like on my Instagram. If you go back, you'll be able to see those.
That's cool. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So speaking about designing, what would you say your method to your madness is with coming up to a design?
So at first, I kind of just used to whip the shoe out and just kind of think and just kind of go with the flow and see what happens and start putting stuff down. Maybe start with just a base colors and do that. But now I've kind of grown more to using my iPad and using Procreate on my iPad to sit down, when I'm not actually able to just work. I just get my iPad and just kind of come up with ideas and think about things that, okay, I'll try to figure out like what aren't people really doing right now? What haven't someone done? And then I'll try to go and turn it into an idea, which is why at this point, like, wow, and the point that I'm at right now, I'm kind of more so, I'm not saying I'm not taking orders. I still do take orders, that's for sure. But right now, I really want to create a bunch of things that I just had kind of sitting like in my tablet and, on my mind, because I just really feel like the ideas that I have for myself that I can create are really some of the best ones. I guess because they're passion projects. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of like how I do. I sit down with my iPad, I come up with my ideas, and I go from there.
Yeah. I've gone to doing everything pretty much now in Photoshop, kind of layering stuff out. But I have a bunch of that I've just like sat down and designed, and I'm like, oh yeah, this would be dope. And then it's just sitting in a file somewhere, like I haven't touched it. I get busy with everything else.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely feel you on that one. That's definitely a tough one. Let's see. So with customizing shoes, one of the things I am learning that I think is interesting, like some people that are doing it are not really like sneakerheads, right? So first of all, would you say that you feel like you're a sneakerhead? Yes or no?
I am not.
Okay, cool. See, I think that's interesting. So what brings you to a shoe being your canvas when there's so many other things that you can paint on or use to try to express yourself or your art? So why shoes? Why choosing shoes in that manner?
I think for me, I do like, even though I'm not a sneakerhead, I do like clothes and fashion. And my mom, because that's kind of her career path. She kind of put that in us when we were younger to like, dress nice, have stuff like that. So I think when in high school, because I never just would sit around and I would draw on paper a lot, but I never just really get out paint to a canvas before. I've done canvas work before, but when the whole thing came out, and I seen someone customize it on some shoes, and then also like on shirts. Now I was like, now that's something that I can get behind because it's fashion. I can make stuff that I can wear and I can rock out, on the shoes as well. So I think that's probably how I got into customizing shoes. It's just because I do like fashion as well. Although I'm not a sneakerhead, I don't have all the J's and the Yeezys and things of that nature. Just give me a pair of white shoes or whatever, and I can make it how I want it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think that's interesting. Yeah. I've had somebody else who kind of went from that lane too, from more of a fashion standpoint of it as well. So that's interesting. Yeah. But talking about the, my mom wasn't into fashion. Of course, she liked clothes and stuff, but she used to sew and everything when we were younger. So we had all the homemade suits and everything.
Yeah, my mom sews too.
Yeah, growing up. But I always, even now to this day, like getting ready to leave out the house, I always hear her, "You're not leaving with me, going look nowhere looking like that. Get back in the house and change." So yeah, I definitely feel that.
Sounds like my mom. Yeah.
Awesome. So next question probably gonna be hard, depending on how many shoes you've made. So give me your top 5 customs that you have created for shoes.
That's not hard for me. Because one pair, look, can I go from 5 to the number 1, or does it matter?
5 to 1 is perfect.
Okay, let me see. Because a lot of stuff, like I said, a lot of stuff I do for myself. So number 1 would probably be, number 5 would probably be these barber Jordans that I did for this barber. She's like a local barber. And she just wanted like a bunch of colors on them. And, she just said, "I want barber and do whatever you do." Yeah, I'll send you like the photos of them if you don't, so you can put it up or whatever and show people. So it'll be those barber Jordans. That'll probably be the number 5 on the list. Number 4 will probably be my first pair that I created, which is behind me. I'll send you a close up of those just because it's kind of what got me started. Let's see. Number 3 would probably be yeah, I got them over here. So number 3 would probably be these shoes. Let's see, can I see on my light? Yeah, they focus in.
Okay.
Probably be these, nice and colorful. One day I saw like this design on the internet, and I was like, yeah, just put them on some shoes. So I just got some random shoes from the Nike outlet and went with it. And I think this shoe did some really good numbers on a couple of shoe pages as well. And number two would probably be these Chicago Jordan tribute joints that I did. So I got the hockey team, and then I did Jordan. I kind of did like the cutouts of the check for the hockey stick, breaking it in half, and then Michael Jordan dunking into the goal. So those are probably number 2. And number 1, just because it's probably it's like the most shoe I think a lot of people came to follow my page for, would probably be the Flintstone Jordan 1 lows that I did. So actually, Angela's Direct posted these probably like a week and a half ago, and I was checking, and I think it's probably like the second most. It probably had the second most likes on the entire page. I was just looking at all of it, so I think they got about the second most likes on Angela's Direct page. All the shoes that they post. So I'm very proud of these at number 1, the Flintstone Jordan 1s.
Yeah, I saw those. I do like those. Those are dope.
So yeah, that's my top 5.
Yeah, definitely, man. So one of the things too that I like to kind of like get a gist of is like, what would you say is like your business model for trying to do this as a business, right? Like I feel like there's so many elements of trying to figure this out, from social media, do I have a website, get my name out there, so on and so forth. So what would you say is like your business model or a tip that you would be okay with releasing? I know everybody don't like to release their secrets. too. So
I don't really have no secret right now because I'm still trying to get to that point to where I feel as if like, okay, you can go and do this as a business. And for me, of course, like social media presence is something you definitely want to have. But when I think about doing this, I don't really think about having, 300 orders just sitting up in their corner, like waiting for me to get done. Just like the type of artist that I am with my work. I'm more so maybe like a one-of-one type of person. And so I guess that would probably put me in a range of like having to deal with, I'm not saying like people wouldn't be able to afford it, but maybe like a higher price range, I guess. You know what I mean? Yeah. So my guy, Color Me Fresh, right? I talked to him on my YouTube channel, and he used to talk about his process, and I seen him on the network app and what he's doing with his work. And for me, I'm more so along the lines I want to be able to drop products that I can be able to charge a nice amount for, because I want to put my all into it. I want to make it a whole experience, as well as like Mosh's format. How he has all these deals like and collabs with just White Castle and just Steph Curry. Like that's the type of stuff that I would love to do. And I think for me, I have reached out to a few celebrities because I do feel like that having those celebrities kind of stamp you to the world, it lets more people trust in who you are and what you're doing. So that's what I'm currently working on right now, trying to get more, trying to solidify my name a little bit more, and and go from there.
Yeah. So I think that's interesting. You saying you reached out to some celebrities, but I think about like the human factor that we have to deal with like getting ourselves to the point to be able to do that. So what got you to that point to just say, you know what, bump it, I'm gonna just go ahead and try to cold call a DM or whatever somebody and see what happens?
I think for me it just became like, because I wasn't at first. I was one of those people who's like, yeah, I'm not finna they ain't gonna never answer my my DM, they're not gonna do that. And for me, it was probably like last year, because 2019 is when I started back up. And so I did okay the first year, like as far as the social media following, I got a few orders that year. I got like 1,000 followers within that first year. And then when 2020 came, of course, the pandemic and everything like that, like everything just kind of like just stopped. So once I hit that 1,000, like bro, I probably got maybe, I don't know, 300 followers for that whole 2020. And I was still dropping work, and but I think what I was doing was just kind of, maybe was following other people's pattern a little bit too much. So when I say that is, so I think about, because I learned a lot from the Jesus Custom Footwear and, and guys like that who share what they're doing when they're successful. And his model that he had with like posting 3 photos, that's kind of like the grids type method. I was trying that and I was doing it. But I think that just kind of stopped working for me because I have a full-time job. I'm not able to just come in my art room and do this every single day. So I'm not able to push out as much work, right? And so what I found out was I got to do more of like showing my process, showing myself, doing different other things instead of just showing work, because, if I don't post nothing every 2 or 3 weeks, when I finally able to come out with something, people going to just forget who I am. And I think that's what I was doing in 2020. Even though I was dropping work, I just wasn't posting, enough for people to know who I am. And so when 2021 came, was it this year? Yeah. So when this year came around, man, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do whatever I want to do. So I just started posting what I wanted to post, and I reached out to like, and sometimes, you don't really go after like the biggest name celebrity, you know what I mean? So that's what some people probably don't understand either. So I just reached out to like, they're known, but I don't want to say just yet because they're actually who I'm making these the custom store right now.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes, I reached out, and and it's crazy. They like hit me right back, and they was like, "Oh yeah, man, I love to, like show your work off and blah blah blah." I was like, "Oh shoot," I was like, "Okay, cool." So I think once I actually did that and, you know, it came out and they responded back, I was like, okay, cool. So there's nothing to be afraid of. All they can do is tell you no, or don't say anything back, and you just, you know, go try again. So I actually just did that a lot too for a bunch of NFL players out here in LA. So especially the new incoming guys, I DM'd everybody like, yo, what's up? You know, I'm trying to work, let's work. But I didn't put it in a sense of where like I want to do it for free. I just was like, I would love to collab and do some work, you know, with you and stuff like that. So because I don't just want to be out creating a bunch of stuff for free, you know, I would love to just have like a relationship with them where they are confident in what I'm doing and want to, you know, pay me for my services.
Right. Yeah. Trying to do, I at this point, I haven't done any customs for free. I'm like, man, and every time I get into a pair, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be able to knock this out. And it's like 2-3 times as long as what I thought it was gonna be. And trying to problem solve and fix and everything else. And
right.
Yeah. So it takes a lot of time. So I definitely understand that. So I guess you kind of answered this one a little bit, but what's next for you?
What's next for me, man, is so I do have a YouTube channel. I started my YouTube channel last year, and around August, September. It's something that I always kind of wanted to do anyway. I just actually finally just started doing it, because to do a YouTube channel, it takes a lot. You got a lot of recording, and you got to edit, and you got to do all the other stuff. So for some people who just go in and customize, and they post the photos right at the end. When you do YouTube, you got to freaking record, you got to set up, you got to make sure you get these angles, you got to make it interesting when you do all that. So for me, it's continuing to improve my YouTube channel. Like I said before, I got this custom coming out with a nice little celebrity. And so I'm hoping that what I'm doing for them will be something that'll blow up. And I feel like, and also with me doing this custom, it's not just like, oh, just because the celebrity has it. I actually think these customs are going to be pretty dope. So the work that I'm doing for these is going to be good content for my page, as well as, for my YouTube channel. Yeah. And so,
nothing. I was agreeing, because I'm out here trying to do the same thing with my channel. It's a little rough, but yeah.
Yeah. So I was filming some shoes, and then like my 5:30 calendar went off. I was like, what's this guy going on 5:30? And I was like, oh shoot, I do got to do this. I forgot about the interview, so I had to hurry up and give a background, because stuff be everywhere when you be painting. So I had to set everything up real quick so I can jump on it and my background don't look a mess. But so yeah, man, that's what I'm trying to do. Like really make a name for myself in the community, and hopefully by doing so, I can get more clientele and get more of a, what's what I'm looking for, man? Just make more of a name for myself. So when people hear like, oh yeah, art, oh yeah, man, I would love to have some stuff by him, man. So that's what I want to do, because I really do feel like me and what I'm doing right now with this art and everything is something that I am supposed to be doing, in my life.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about it. My wife will tell you I can be up all day and all night, working on painting and crafting and doing all this different type of stuff. So why not do something you actually love for a living, if you can?
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Definitely agree on that. So I call this the Lace 'Em Up podcast because I feel like the laces are the first and last things that you touch when you're making a custom pair of shoes. And it's really kind of like that final touch at the end to look and say, okay, yeah, this looks dope. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where the name came from. But with that, I want to wrap up. I got 2 questions for you. Okay. So one is, who do you think should be on the podcast next? And would you be willing to help get them on?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. For sure.
So, who do you think?
Well, this person I had talked on I had on my channel, but like she always has good things to say. And like, even now, I'd be like, man, I need to have you on again. Because she just, but I think you should have her on yours. Erica B. I don't know if you had Erica B Kicks.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you her stuff, and I'll let you know. Yeah, she's dope. She's based out of Alabama. She's mostly like an airbrush artist, but she does hand painting too. But yeah, she had some Coco Melon shoes that blew up on Facebook, and even right now she's always booked up with work, and she's very passionate about what she does. So yeah, Erica B, man, over at Erica B Kicks.
So yeah, I'll definitely when you send me this stuff, I'll definitely reach out to her for sure. And then last question: what tip would you give to a new customizer?
What tip to give to a new customer? I don't know. I don't know if this is. I guess this could be a tip, but I'm pretty sure you hear a lot of people say it. But man, just try to be original, because for me, there's nothing cooler than seeing something that you've probably never seen before. And if you've seen it before, you may have never seen it in a way that you as a person can put it across. Because the minute you start, trying to do what other people are doing, is the minute you just kind of put yourself and you just fall in the assembly line with everybody else. I don't want to be in the assembly line with everybody else doing this. I want to be the person that stands out, man, going higher. And so, yeah, be original, trust your process, trust yourself, and it's okay to, and don't be afraid to fail either.
All right, folks, that has been another episode of the Lace 'em Up Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, we will be back in 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, hitting you over the head with another interview, just like this one. All right, so Art, thank you again for being on the podcast. All of his information will be down below in the description box. Follow him, support him. Jump on the bandwagon, man. We small business owners, small business people, just trying to make stuff work. So once again, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, all that, so you know when the next one drops. Until then, we out.
Listen, it takes wisdom to grab these sneakers and spin them. Cut a couple of linen and match them up with the denim called Davidedo. He'll cook it up like a kilo and have your Air Ones appropriate with the stilo. He's no Lilo, but he's mean with the stitch.